Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Fame, Criticism, and Personal Boundaries. I'm your host, and today we're going to talk about how famous people deal with criticism, limits on their personal lives, and all the emotional stuff that comes with being in the spotlight. We often think celebrities have perfect lives, lots of money, fame, and luxury. But the truth is, being famous can be really tough. They deal with criticism, public opinions, and have little privacy. But guess what? There's a lot we can learn from how they handle it. So, let's get into it. I'm going to share 25 real-life examples of how they manage these challenges and show you how we can apply these lessons to our own lives. Let's jump right in. Handling criticism. First up, let's talk about criticism. Celebrities get criticized all the time, no matter how good they are at what they do. People will always have opinions, and some of those opinions aren't nice. Example 1. A famous actor was constantly criticized for his performance in a movie. Instead of fighting back, he acknowledged the feedback and worked harder on his craft, earning better reviews in his next project. Example 2. A musician released an album that didn't do well at first. Fans and critics alike had negative things to say. Instead of quitting, they used the criticism to tweak their music and ended up creating a hit album. Now, think about a time you were criticized. Maybe someone didn't like your work or said something mean about you. It didn't feel good, right? Well, imagine getting that kind of feedback from the whole world every single day. That's what celebrities go through. But here's the thing we can learn from them. They don't let it get to them. Instead of getting upset, they focus on improving and keep going. They don't let the criticism define who they are. For us, it means we should try not to let negative comments control us. Criticism is just feedback, and it doesn't say anything about our worth. We can use it to get better at what we do. Personal life restrictions. Next, let's talk about personal life restrictions. When you're famous, you don't have much privacy. Everything you do is watched and commented on. Whether you're eating dinner with family or just going out, someone is always watching. Example 3. A famous couple was followed everywhere by paparazzi, even when they were just trying to have a quiet evening together. They had to find new ways to keep their lives private, setting clear boundaries with the media. Example 4. A well-known singer shared only small, carefully chosen moments from their personal life on social media, choosing to keep the rest to themselves. Some celebrities find ways to keep their personal lives private, even though they're in the public eye. They share just enough to keep their fans happy, but they don't give away everything. What can we learn here? Setting boundaries is important. It's okay to keep some things private, even from social media. We don't have to share everything we do, and we should protect our time and personal space. Emotional toll of public scrutiny. Being watched all the time can be emotionally exhausting. Celebrities have to deal with people judging them, their actions, their looks, and their every move. It can get really stressful. Example 5. A famous model spoke openly about how public criticism of her body image affected her mental health. She took a break from social media to focus on herself and later came back stronger. Example 6. A comedian once shared that constant negative feedback made them feel inadequate, but they worked with a therapist to cope with the emotional stress and improve their mental health. They're still human, and they feel the pressure just like anyone else. The good news is that many celebrities are starting to talk about their mental health, which helps others see that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. For us, the takeaway is this: it's okay to have bad days. We don't have to be perfect all the time. If we're feeling stressed or anxious, it's okay to take a break and focus on our mental health. Dealing with mistakes and scandals. Let's talk about mistakes. Celebrities make mistakes too. Sometimes they do things that get them in trouble, and it gets all over the news. But what's important is how they handle it. Example 7. A famous athlete made a controversial statement, but instead of avoiding the issue, they openly apologized and worked toward better understanding. Example 8. A well-known actress once got caught in a scandal and, instead of staying silent, she took full responsibility, apologized, and worked to make things right with her fans. Instead of hiding or ignoring it, a lot of celebrities face their mistakes head-on. They admit when they've messed up, apologize if needed, and try to learn from it. For us, this is a great lesson. When we make mistakes, it's okay to admit it and move on. Owning up to it shows strength, not weakness. And learning from it helps us grow. Using criticism to grow. Some celebrities take criticism and use it to get better. Instead of letting it bring them down, they use it to push themselves forward. They take what people say and improve their skills. Example 9. A famous director was criticized for a movie they made, but they took the feedback seriously and ended up creating one of their best films later on. Example 10. A singer was told their voice wasn't good enough. Instead of giving up, they took voice lessons and eventually became one of the best in the industry. For us regular folks, that's a great lesson too. If someone criticizes us, we don't have to feel bad. Instead, we can use it as a chance to get better. Every bit of feedback can help us grow stronger and smarter. Finding balance and happiness. Finally, let's talk about happiness. Sometimes, celebrities get so focused on their work, they forget about the things that make them happy, like spending time with family, relaxing, or just taking care of themselves. Example 11. A well-known singer shared how they burned out from working non-stop, only to realize they needed to step back and prioritize their happiness. Example 12. A famous actor took a year off from the spotlight to spend more time with family and recharge, which made them more focused and successful when they returned to work. Some celebrities have learned that success isn't just about work, it's about balance. They've realized that happiness comes from making time for the people they love and for themselves. For us, it's the same. We need to find time for things we enjoy, whether it's hanging out with friends, taking a walk, or just relaxing. It's not all about work and getting ahead. It's also about being happy and feeling good. Example 13. A popular author who received harsh reviews on their first book didn't give up. Instead, they worked hard on their next one, and it became a bestseller. Example 14. A famous chef faced a scandal over a comment they made. Instead of staying defensive, they apologized, reflected on their mistake, and worked to promote inclusivity. Example 15. A social media influencer received harsh comments about their looks but used those comments to launch a campaign about self-love and body positivity. Example 16. A professional dancer was told they weren't talented enough to make it, but they kept practicing and eventually became a world champion. Example 17. A famous comedian struggled with stage fright but kept pushing through. With time and practice, they turned that fear into one of their best performances. Example 18. An Olympic athlete didn't win the gold medal they hoped for but chose to focus on the progress they made and the lessons learned. Example 19. A popular singer was constantly compared to others in the industry but ignored the competition and focused on developing their own unique style. Example 20. A TV host faced personal loss but kept going, using their platform to talk about resilience and mental health. Example 21. A famous photographer took some of the harshest critiques early in their career but turned those comments into motivation to prove the critics wrong. Example 22. A best-selling author faced years of rejection before finally being published, and they used every no as fuel to keep improving. Example 23. A famous model who faced a lot of negative comments about their appearance turned it into a personal project to redefine beauty standards. Example 24. An actor had to deal with a series of bad reviews, but instead of retreating, they focused on learning and growing, becoming a better actor. Example 25. A famous entrepreneur faced bankruptcy but didn't give up. They learned from their mistakes and went on to create a hugely successful business later. And that's a wrap for today's episode. I hope you found these examples inspiring. Whether you're a celebrity or not, we all face challenges, criticism, and tough moments. But how we handle them defines who we are. Remember to focus on the positive, learn from mistakes, and protect your peace.